Look at all these Oh my god, so many decals. Oh my lord.
Oh, it's all decals.
It's just decals all the way down.
Cool. Oh, it goes over like the entire ground
Yeah,
surface.
it's almost like they didn't need the base mesh.
Yeah.
Like they could have just put like a
Okay.
white
Okay.
cube there and it would have been good. So a while back we did a stream where we looked into the graphics stack for No Rest for the Wicked because it's doing a lot of interesting things with the rendering and the art direction, and we kind of wanted just to figure out like how they're approaching it. There's this tool called RenderDoc that is a graphics debugging tool. It lets you take a snapshot of a game and see how all of the assets are coming together and see how it's rendering. And it's a little technical, but it's fascinating because you can really dig into all the different meshes and the different textures. And so we recorded a stream where a couple of us just went in and just kind of chatted about it and took a dive into the rendering for No Rest for the Wicked. And I thought it would be pretty fun to just share it and see if anyone would learn anything or might find it fun to listen to our sultry tones as we talk about textures and meshes. So I didn't record an intro, so real quick, alongside myself, we have Matt and Anita and Kelly, all from Pontoko, just kind of sitting in on the stream, and we're just going to ask some questions and kind of dig into it. So without further ado, yeah, here you go.
Yeah, I'm curious about a few things. I think the world growing like most of all, so we should jump in and like get get a look at that.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can dig it up too. I think that's going to be a bit of a trick.
I mean, yeah, part of it I'm just like curious, you know, like what parts of it are in the render pipeline.
Yeah, I've been told that like so there's this like sort of version of Unity that Moon Studios says they have called Moonity.
Community,
Moonity,
yeah,
which I think is
smart.
like an old they've probably forked the engine with because they have engine source access at Unity and
Mm.
probably have that's what their Moonity is, and then apparently they use some sort of other side engine just for the game logic, and then they render with Unity, which is pretty interesting. It's also notable because if they fork Unity at any point in time, like they may not have as many of the modern features. Like I'm not totally sure about that. We might be able to figure out if they're using HDRP or if they're using the built-in render pipeline, something like that. Um, is there
Yeah.
a specific section you want me to look at?
So I haven't played the game at all.
Okay.
Therefore I do not really have
Oh.
opinions about. Oh,
so
maybe you have to
I'm
play the game.
I'm running a tool called RenderDoc, which you can see in the top left is able lets me capture images or captures basically of the render structure. So if I hit F12, yoink. So we'll capture that. We can look at a couple of other. One of the things I actually really want to look at. Oh god. Oh lord. Okay. All right. I'm gonna run. I want to look at how they do the ground texturing. Actually, one thing that's like always. Oh my god. Okay. Here, we'll take one here. It's a fun pose. Oh god. Oh jeez. Well, so I'm interested in the ground texturing because the ground textures seem totally unique, and I want to know if it's just like a big 8K texture, like, um, or if they're doing some kind of like other way of authoring that. Um,
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah, yeah, a few different patterns. Be like, I don't know, lots of decals or something to
right.
make it all seem unique. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I was looking at this before, and the some of the places do use a lot of decals. Like there was an early area back there that used a lot of them, but I think these things right here, like this is like a big. I think it's just a big texture asset, like just one massive model. I think. So I'm kind of curious how that gets put together, especially because like this all looks really painterly, um, and well blended. Like it doesn't look like it's a bunch of kit bashed kind of like assets. Like it seems pretty intentional. Like the seaweed here, like really like falls off the rock, and then blends onto the ground. Like, that's pretty weird. Um,
Hmm.
all right, let's take those four captures and we can. Uh, jump out.
Yeah, it's a shame the game is not. It doesn't come across quite as beautifully as I know it looks in uh, real time.
I think I might have. Wait, do I need? Am I an idiot? And let's see. And naturally, we can just like edit all of this stuff out too. That's boring. Honestly, a lot of this
Oh
is
yeah,
going to be me
first
like
try.
figuring out how to like dig into this stuff. So it's not so much an educational stream as it is watch in real time as I figure shit out. I'm actually kind of confused because normally when you take a capture, it shows up. So that's weird. Did they get saved? I might need to leave the game open, I think, actually. Alright, let's try that.
Huh.
Yeah, like I think, I can't remember if RenderDoc, I don't think it, you might be able to get it to replay in a local context, because that's what I was doing for Android, but I think by default, it actually tries to run in the context of the game? Maybe that's what's going on here? Yeah, what's going on? What's up?
Yeah, yeah. I think it generally can save everything it needs to like replay the frame, but
That's what I thought, and I recall it doing that on Android, but it doesn't seem like it actually took a capture. So let's see. Let's see if I just take a capture and see what we get.
oh, something said failed to capture frame up in that,
This is one capture.
but now it says captured frame.
saved,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
I think I'm just being a dummy and can't find the capture window. Vent browser. Capture comments. Oh lord. Oh, I didn't attach. There we go. There's our capture.
Hey.
Hey. Let's make sure it all loads. Sorry, we'll take a bunch again. We can actually just look at this one just to start off. I think it could be fun. This is the simplest of things. Alright. I'm going to make the text size actually a little smaller. Yeah, that's probably fine. Yeah, so you're already familiar with RenderDoc, Matt. But we also have two folks here who are not as familiar. Hello.
Happy to just follow along.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys have questions, definitely feel free to pepper them in, because I think that's the most interesting, rather than, I don't know, if I'm just like wandering around, don't have anything to explain, because like I already know how to use RenderDoc. And I'm not intending this to be like a tutorial, so I'm probably not going to like explain everything. So if you have a question about like what you're looking at, you should totally jump in. Alright.
RenderDoc is a little bit intimidating.
Yeah.
At first glance, though.
Oh yeah.
But I think it'll start to make sense once we start stepping
Yeah.
through stuff.
So you can see the frame here. This is the final.
There's a few things going on here.
Get rid
I mean,
of
you
this.
got this whole background scene. You got, I think is the title graphic dynamic? That might be cool.
Looks like probably a texture. So we can poke through how it's actually rendering.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So, doing some compute stuff. You can look at the shaders actually for compute shaders, which is pretty cool. So, whatever this compute pass is doing is called VFX fill indirect args CSV FX indirect args. Probably some kind of
Very exciting.
setup for VFX stuff. I mean, presumably the VFX graph is being used, and all of that compute stuff would happen near the beginning of the frame. Would be my guess. That's
Probably
the one. What the
setting
heck
up
is
like wind
that's
grids and
right.
oh,
That's the
interesting. It does an off-screen pass for the player character.
Well, I'm actually confused because so that's the player character, right? I'm pretty sure it's being rendered, but this seems like it's just an image, or is this the whole color pass? I think the player renders way down, like the main game renders way down here. So whatever's, or maybe this is. Oh no, okay, it's just rendering right away. Interesting. What's interesting is that that's like this is rendering a forward pass, I think. So we looked at this before, and it was a deferred renderer, um,
Hmm.
which this is not deferred. This is rendering straight. Well, oh
Interesting.
no,
But
wait, this is the G
it is
buffer.
producing a G
Oh no
buffer.
no no! Here we go. You guys are the zoom is covering up the
Oh,
the
yeah.
other. Yeah. I see. Okay, so it is. This is deferred. Okay, cool. So it's rendering. Okay, this is the first color pass, but just for the character, I guess. Okay,
Hmm.
so that actually does make sense. Uh,
Yeah, but it looks like it's doing it into a separate buffer that then gets, I guess, like composited into the
right.
rest of the scene.
Yeah. That actually kind of makes some sense because that this title screen is like. Okay, how do I show it again? Frame. Oh, here we go. It's like very compositionally structured in that sense. Like I'm not kind of. It's like I'm kind of not shocked actually that you would try to composite it in rather than I don't know, try to get the field of view perfect for the environment and also look good for the character. Like this, you almost want a pretty orthographic view for this character, but uh, this like you wouldn't want that orthographic view for the environment. So maybe that would be a
Yeah, I
reason.
guess if they didn't want to fuss with like matching the perspectives,
Right, and it might be
that makes
impossible.
sense.
I think even like just from a for like a character creator, you want it to be pretty like pretty strongly orthographic, and then but that would like totally destroy the sort of like foreshortening, you know, of the C. So it makes sense. I don't know. Yeah, that's logical enough. And I presume hopefully they're compositing in just the G buffer rather than compositing like two final frames together. I mean, for,
Right? Yeah.
for this scene, it wouldn't be a big performance impact, but like that would be ideal if you could do that. Um, I had another thought. I lost it. It's gone. Um, it is interesting that it's rendering upside down, because I think later it's not upside down. I want to say. There's another color pass. Ah, interesting. Wait. We got a second color pass with this same. This is only rendering to G buffer normal offset. I don't actually know what that is.
Mhm.
Normal
I mean,
offset.
is it just a artifact of looking at this in like texture coordinate space?
Well, maybe I think the late. I wanted to say the later. Let's see. The later color passes. Ah, okay, that's upside down too. I don't remember Anita. I think you're around here, but it wasn't upside down when we were looking at it before, was it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. That's.
Maybe that's special for this
It could be. It could be special for
this
the
scene.
main menu. It's got to be a good
Or maybe
reason
you
for
just
it.
have some setting in render doc doing something
So,
weird.
Yeah. It's
so like you were looking
yeah.
at G buffers before and they were
They're right
not upside
side up.
down?
They were like weird in other ways actually, but they were
Oh,
right side up, at least. So
well, I don't know.
oh, copy subsurface region. All right, what about this
All
depth
right,
pass?
getting to compositing.
Yeah. So, but like they could render it upside down and then like flip it when they do the final frame or something. For some reason, here's another color pass. That is still upside down, I think. Yeah.
So these
Right.
are these just like painted textures?
um.
Like what
So yeah, look all these guys here.
are they meshes or are they just like
Yeah, let's look at those. I'm gonna shrink this.
Yeah, those light beams look like,
So
yeah,
these are
meshes.
transparent. So they're rendering to a half res transparency render texture. So they're rendering a bunch of things. So it starts off black actually. It's like we don't have the character or any of the previously rendered stuff on here. It's actually rendering to a separate screen basically, called the half resolution transparency render texture, which I presume is called that because one, it's half size, and two, they're going to composite it at like some sort of like they're gonna like take all of this stuff and then like splat it onto the screen with transparency. I'm like alpha sort of blend it all
Mhm.
at once. So Yeah, so these guys here, they really do look like just like flat. Yeah, there they go. Yeah, just like flat. Here's the mesh, and we can actually tell it to highlight. Where is that button? If I go to it's under. Can you move and zoom around? I think. No, it's overlay. That's the one. Highlight draw call. Oh. hmm. Oh, I see.
Huh.
They've it's like okay, so it's because if you look at the input texture, ooh, this is fun. So the outcome here. Let's do the wireframe mesh. So this is a
Oh, I see.
you can see that it's like the light this like light blur kind of looking thing. I'm blow this up a bit. No. Okay. Doesn't want to blow. But it's like this. Yeah. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's this big like horizontal texture.
It's that like radial blur
Yeah, there you
input
go.
texture that just got stretched
Yeah.
like way the hell out.
Yeah, and like here's the input texture is just like this little star thing, and then there's some like distorted waves on it. That's fun. Yeah, and they just like sort of stretch the heck out of it. Here's another one, similar thing where they've taken this like mask and yeah, stretch that one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It gives it like a pretty natural feeling of directionality, actually. I'm surprised.
Yeah. I didn't actually notice if this stuff is moving or not. Yeah, it is wavering a little bit actually. Oh, I see. I see. So the shaders are also like, doing the wiggle stuff and like giving it some undulation to get those light shapes to move around.
Is that
Yeah.
back texture like the actual
Yeah,
like
this back thing
sky
here.
area? Is
Yeah.
it just a like matte painting?
Yeah. Let's see. So part of it clearly is right here. Um,
Yeah.
so this one is, and you can see the input texture.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so they're doing this. Are you familiar with like what this like blurring kind of stuff is going on here? Like the kind of streaking, I guess is the right word.
It looks like they just took a outline and then expanded whatever color was there.
Yeah, basically, like there's a post processing you can apply in certain tools that will just like take the any transparent pixels and just sort of like suck up whatever color is closest. So
Hmm.
because if you don't, then actually those pixels will be white because they won't have a color. And then when you apply, you make them like transparent. Um, then what you'll be blending is a transparent white pixel on the rim of the image, and you'll get this like white like halo effect because those pixels are technically white, even though they're like half transparent. Um, so this helps like avoid like a little bit of a white fuzzy around the edge, which it's kind of similar to like in Photoshop when you do like magic select or whatever, and then you get that like white like rim around stuff. Helps avoid that. Um,
Yeah. So this actually does have or should have like transparency right around the
yes, you're right.
edges.
Oh,
Those
there
two
you go.
nodes.
That's right. Here you
Ah,
go.
yeah,
Boom.
exactly.
Yeah. So like
So
if
yeah, you can see it doesn't have yeah, either like white or black sort of like halos around the edges that
yeah,
you
exactly.
normally get if you don't do that kind of
You get a like,
post-processing.
really crisp, nice colored fade. Because
Still
otherwise,
pretty abstract shape there.
yeah, it is an interesting one. I kind of want to know how they like decided to paint this.
It does look like they just like had, maybe Photoshop layers or something.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. Like you think they like made it in Photoshop and then just like exported all the layers, threw them
Could
through
be.
some shaders. It's not a bad way to approach it, honestly. What's notable about some of this is like when you export from a texture like this and composite it in, getting the colors to line up is tricky because like, normally, so this is like unlit, so now it needs to like match the like I don't know, the lighting of the 3D objects, which are PBR and like using lighting calculations and like exposure and stuff. But so you'd have to like paint these to be the exact color, presumably. Like I don't think they're going through the PBR pipeline. Okay, let's see what else. Let's see what else is here. All right, here's some more matte
Some more
paintings.
background, yeah.
Ooh, that's a fun one. Look at that. Ooh, that's cool. Let me put this in alpha. Okay, there we go. That looks really cool. I gotta say. Look at that. Ooh.
It's kind of a fun puzzle to be like, okay, now where does this go in the scene?
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, this is definitely painted too. You can like see the Photoshop brush going on there.
Yeah, yeah, and there's like a degree of like rim lighting ish effect just painted in.
Yep, yep. All right, what about this guy? Oh, this is another one of our. That's the
Big glowy.
big blurry guy. Another big blurry. What is this? Uh, I find it funny just like how much. Yeah, they must have exported these from Photoshop. It's got to be the way to do it because there's so many of them, and they're so like. I feel like if you were intentionally making an asset, you would, maybe merge some of these. You don't need them all to move. There's nothing criminal about it, but it makes me feel like it's coming from that kind of a workflow where you've just got like a bunch of layers and you spit them all out into some images.
Yeah, pretty interesting to like, I don't know, just like give your artist like that granularity of control to be
Yeah,
like,
it is all.
I just want to add another little layer here.
Yeah.
I mean, they are kind of like alternating with the lighting, so you can get that nice sort of like
Hmm.
lighting fading in and out, but only over these layers and under these layers.
When you say alternating with the lighting, like they're doing some layers that are light and some that are dark, or
So
something.
they put I mean, it looks like from the final screen that they have some of these painted layers that are sort of like half in front of those light shapes.
Right.
You know what I
Here's
mean?
the final screen. Wait. Or not. Okay. Otherwise. Okay. Zoop. So there's like some that are painted in half in
Like,
front.
yeah.
Wait, explain again.
So,
Sorry.
so this bottom one,
Yeah.
uh,
Right. The cloud layer thing.
yeah, it's just it lets you use like that kind of soft layering to block the light.
I see. I
So,
see. It gives like having a lot more layers allows you to nest them so that it sort of like creates some blockage of the like
mhm,
other
yeah.
ones. Yeah, that makes sense. Rather than like composing it all together and then like, especially if you
Yeah,
want to
and
move
then
them around too.
yeah, in the actual game, they're doing all this like fading
Right.
certain lights and layers, so it looks really alive.
Right. I guess it's like yeah, if you want to animate them, they have to be separate layers anyway. So, um, yeah, and you get this kind of like there's like a shadow box
Hmm.
if you're like that kind of a thing, or like that kind of an effect. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Oh, ooh, there's a mesh.
Hey, we actually get a 3D
Look at
mesh.
that.
Incredible.
Insane. Where is it going? Where do you go, my friend? Okay, right there. So this is. Wait.
Okay, so that's like the ceiling? This is still
Oh, right,
upside
because we're
down.
upside down. Yes. I wish that meshes had
Hmm.
names. As far as I'm aware, there's no way that they can name for a mesh. But we can use the textures. So maybe sky, clouds, offset. Here's a texture for it. Okay, that's an interesting texture for a mesh.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's UV mapped the way I would expect.
Yeah.
Is it projected or something?
Interesting. What is so? I was able to figure out how to do that before. Let's see.
Oh, yeah, can you show the
I
mesh shader?
yes. If I go to all right. If we go to tangent text chord 0, which is the UV, and you say select as secondary, and then you say secondary. Whoa. Zoom? No, no, V is in. There we go. No, wait. No. No, that's visualizing the color of the text coordinate. I want to.
Yeah, but it does look like it's just.
It's like it exploded, dude.
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, wow. No, there was a way to show it in this one. There's a way to show it like just flat, and then I have to set it as position. I think. So if I set it as position, yeah, there we go. Okay. So now the texture coordinate is being used
Mhm.
as the position in this view. So this is the UV map here. Which I've noticed, and we were looking at these UV maps from the last time, and they're really weird. Like I don't know.
It looks like it's camera projected.
Hmm.
Oh, that makes sense for
Yeah,
this one.
that's I
Yeah,
mean,
I
and
was
that's why
like,
the
what
texture is so
tool
strange too.
generated this? Oh, so it would be what would it be like upside down? Okay, someone like one of these things here because it's like. Well, I guess if we could. No, now I'm confused.
So I think if you
Is it?
if you go back to using the vertex position and then uh take I guess like an isometric view of the mesh. Yeah, like this is like if you're looking at it straight on here, like this
Green.
is just like, a UV quad
Yeah, you're
from this
right. I
camera
see what you're
position.
saying. Yeah, it's like this is just the flat you being just like shoop like projected because red
It's just painted to camera.
red would be
Yeah.
one there, then zero would be down here. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Um, but and then this is upside down, so it matches if you flip it. Yeah, if you flip this image exactly vertically, you will
Uh-huh.
get this shape. So that what they've done is they've taken it, they put it in the scene, and then they must have exported that projection as as the UV unwrapping, taken that
Yeah.
into Photoshop as well, splatted that on. They had to splat it somehow and onto like a rectangle, and then take that into Photoshop. Uh,
I mean, you could just like paint a layer and like associate that layer with this mesh,
I'm just
right?
trying to think of like how they like did the workflow of like figuring out where the shape is in Photoshop because like you'd open up Photoshop with an empty image and you'd be like, well, where's the mesh? But clearly
Hmm.
they've traced the outline of the mesh here in Photoshop. So like they must have had some kind of like heads up or
Yeah.
ability to
Huh.
like see how it projects. Um, I don't know. I mean, you could do all this in Blender too, so it's possible they like
I know, like with grease
set.
pencil or something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or like maybe they're just like setting this entire scene up in Blender and using those tools because those are a little better at like exporting and like you know I don't think of Unity as a tool where I'd want to like be exporting out UVs from. It's just I don't know, maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Or I don't know. There's a lot of crazy workflows you could do. Like you have your like 3D scene and you like export like a Photoshop file from that has uh like meshes like separated into layers or even like meshes like highlighted separated into layers or something. So you could then like take that and like
mm,
do like add layers to it in Photoshop that then go into the texture. I'd be really curious to see how they actually do it.
yeah, yeah, it's interesting. I hadn't discovered any that were projected mapped like this, but maybe more of them are than we think. I wonder if this is a common workflow for all of their because we know that like if you look at their screenshots, it seems like a lot of stuff is matte painted. So like I wonder if this is like generally how they do it. Like those big banners in the intro at the end of the intro cutscene where you're
Mhm.
looking at that massive temple and there's these big like flowing tapestry banner things and they're like moving, but they seem matte painted. And I wonder if it's a similar approach um, where they've developed like a really easy workflow for just raw painting over assets. Honestly.
Yeah. Well,
That
the
that's pretty sweet.
it's
Um,
yeah, it seems like a nice workflow and like definitely makes sense for this main menu where the camera is totally
Yeah.
fixed.
yeah,
Right.
I can see how it would be more difficult in regular
Yeah.
gameplay scenes.
yeah. Can you show the initial screenshot again? I want to see how this
Mm.
cloud
Yes.
fits in there.
So this is the sky, and it's upside down. So is this? Oh, it's just really small. Let's see. Okay, here we go.
What if you like tap back to the game?
Yeah,
Oh, tab, tab.
See it?
that's what I
Just the
meant.
full,
Yeah.
the full one. It's a
Okay.
little hard to
I
see.
see.
It's pretty dark.
Okay.
I think it's
It's
this like almost like rock surface thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's I was wondering why they did this as a mesh instead of as another matte painting layer, but the lighting is affecting all the different
Uh-huh.
geo on it.
Is
So
it?
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, it is a little bit. What? What?
I think it is.
Well, is it though? Because then wouldn't that imply it has normals? I don't know if I want. That might just be the little
Oh yeah,
text.
does it have normals though?
Wouldn't that
Does it
might
get
just be
rendered
the
with
textures
normals?
blurring over it, or the transparency is blending? I want. I don't know if it's actually.
Well, but if it's not, hmm,
Like, it makes me think that the light is like poking through the transparency more than it is
hmm,
like actually getting lit by a light. Um,
interesting. Why make anything a mesh then?
well, great question. Performance could be one. Like, it's pretty expensive to be overlaying a bunch of like massive, um, sort of quads with a bunch of transparent space because you still have to pay some amount for the transparent pixels you're rendering. Um, so
Hmm,
it is much more performant to like sort of snap them or like kind of create a conforming mesh that like roughly approximates the shape.
Could
So
be that.
could be
But
that.
this is also like a way
yeah,
more detailed mesh than you would
Yeah,
need
it
for
is.
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it is
If you
really
were really
weird.
trying to save on performance, it would
I
be
feel like it must be
a
using
lot.
the geometry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great question about like why, or because it's a 3D mesh. It's not even just like because if you just wanted to save performance, you'd make a 2D mesh. You wouldn't
Uh-huh.
Right.
make this
Yeah.
whole. But it is weird because it's like if it was actually picking up the light, yeah, I see what you're saying now, Anita. Because like it
I
would
feel
make
like it
sense
might a little bit. Like
if it
I
picked it up, and maybe it does in some other way. Like maybe there's some other. Well, I mean, it could be picking up shader
Could be
logic.
using the depth. I don't know.
You know what it could be doing? It could be like doing some fancy shader stuff. I mean, like, so this is not playing with the deferred pipeline because this is rendering. This is rendering straight to just a texture, and it's not rendering any normals or anything. So it's basically once it gets here, it throws away all of the geometry information by the time it moves on to the next step. So
hmm. Interesting.
actually, here's the question: where does the lighting actually happen? Because if
Yeah, it's possible this mesh comes back in another pass.
Yeah, because like right here, I don't think I see much lighting. Yeah. Oh wait, actually, almost seems almost transparent. Uh, so if we like flip between, wait, this one, there we go. Okay, yeah,
It's like oh, it's just blocking out that front left, the bottom
yeah,
left part.
It's rendering. Oh, is it rendering to the transparency
texture,
texture because
yeah,
it needs to like occlude some of the transparent stuff?
maybe. Yeah, I mean it is including some of the transparent stuff, I guess. There is a depth texture here actually, so we can look at that. Right, take a peek. Let's see.
Hmm.
Oh, there's a
What
way
would the range
to.
be on
Oh,
this?
of course,
Yeah.
the depth on this is going to be like kind of stupid, I guess, because it's matte paintings. So it's not actually all these are transparent, so there's no depth really. Um, so it's not doing that. Yeah, let's see if it comes back. I'm curious. It might, yeah. But I could also see them doing just some like fancy shader stuff, like when they render it, then they could use the normals in the shader, like within this step 459 here. Like
Hmm.
they could do lighting calculations there.
That's also possible, yeah.
Which you'd probably see if there would be see the vertex shader. Well, the vertex shader it's using is called base simple alpha blend. Seems
Okay.
straightforward. It's doing an alpha blend. Also, notably, this game is called Forsaken, and
Yes.
the code name is of this game is Forsaken, which you'll see pops up a lot actually.
Yeah. I've seen this in other
Yeah,
like videos they've shared too. Like that's just the name of their Unity project.
yeah,
Sorry, their Moonity project.
right. And then the pixel shader. So the pixel shader here is also called alpha blend, and the normal map, there's no normals passed in, but my understanding of this kind of a shader is that it's probably not doing any lighting. Because it would need to get. Well, okay. It's passing in some light cookies. That's weird.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, because, like. Well, yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, here's passing in, like, some light textures. So, like, it could be doing some additional compositing, maybe, or, like. I don't know, some shader magic to make it look a little bit more lit. Yeah, maybe. No. And it could be using those normals from the mesh to do that. Um, that would allow you to like okay, that would allow you to like paint a 2D picture of some clouds, give it some 3D volume, and then like do some fake lighting basically that just sort of like looks like it captures some of the like roundness. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, you have to do some like shader magic to make that happen, but I can see that. That would be like a decent way to get like a relatively compelling like pseudo 3D effect. I think. Um, yeah.
Hmm. Okay, I want to look at more stuff. There's a lot in this scene, and we've only got to like
We're only looking at the
a
clouds, and
little bit
it's
of it. Yeah,
been a half an hour.
this is only like the
Oh,
main menu
but like,
scene
what is
too.
this? Look at this.
Oh, yeah, they're little birds.
It's a
Are
bird.
I
there?
was wondering if they were like meshes or not. Moon particle butterfly. That doesn't look like a butterfly to me.
Aw, cute.
Weird
Look at
butterfly.
that.
Oh, that's cool.
Uh, okay, they're also getting the same light. So I think all of these map actually here.
Yeah, some like just global
It looks a lot of
light textures.
not
Huh.
all of them, but a lot of them. Interesting. Maybe they have some like basically some fake lights that are like composited in onto certain objects, like maybe like the 3D forms and the. Um, actually, I bet you. Sorry, light indices here. Translation. That's better. I bet this is doing some lighting. Okay. This could be doing a forward pass lighting actually, which this might actually be how Unity does it. I don't know their names, but um, that that would actually make sense. So it could actually be, yeah, maybe it is doing lighting, and it's just doing, they're just using a forward pass specifically, which actually in retrospect for a transparent, and even in HDRP or a deferred pipeline, you would use forward pass lighting because you can't render transparent things to the G buffer.
To the G buffer, yeah.
Yeah, so actually maybe this might even be how default Unity works, and this is actually just a lit shader, and you're right, Anita, that it's just like they're just throwing some lighting on it. Anyway, we can. I do want to look at that bird though. Where is he? Where are you? Where are you, little birdie? Hey, look at him! Look at him go!
Yeah. Huh. They just go in a loop.
Wait. Oh, they're not.
That's fun.
They're not visible, or are they? Oh, they're so small. God.
Yeah.
Wow, this is like 1 pixel on my screen. are, are those the birds here? Right there?
Yeah.
Can you guys see that? I don't even know if you can.
Barely.
Yeah, they are really just
They are flapping.
a couple
though.
blurry
There is
pixels.
like there is
Yeah,
that
they're
little
actually.
little flappy thing.
wow, little animated meshes.
Oh, they just teleported. I wonder how they're. I have some questions about that, but it's hard to see in the
I'm
stream.
guessing from the name of the shader, it's a particle system.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's hard to see in the stream, but there's like some pretty heavy dithering happening, which may be a result of TAA, like temporal anti-aliasing, but it's more than I would expect. I don't remember if I won't dig into it. I might have my resolution settings a little bit skewed, but
Yeah.
they're so small that you can, once they render, you just like don't see them. I think that's my theory at least. Is that one there? No. It's just like not there.
It's interesting that they render into the transparency texture too.
You can. I think it's because, well, yeah, that's interesting. Like they are technically opaque, right? Because
I would expect them to be opaque.
the
Yeah.
texture here, like this could be alpha cutout theoretically.
Oh, it is alpha cut out, you're right. Yeah.
Well, if it's alpha cutout, that's opaque because it's cut out, not.
Oh, this is not blending.
This
Yeah.
is not blending, but maybe they just
Mhm.
threw it in with the blending anyway because I don't know why not. It also allowed them maybe to layer it in between, like they could put the birds behind some light forms, I guess, but in front of other light forms. I don't know. Maybe that would. I guess opaque things should do that anyway. We can move on. The birds are cool, but
All right, bye birds.
all right. Anything else on the clouds? What else? I think it's
Yeah, more
gotta
light
be
shapes
it.
probably.
Mm-hmm.
What are these? Sorry.
I'm assuming all the like tiny number of vertices ones are just light shapes or like quads.
Yeah, more quads probably. Perlin. Oh, fog plane. Here we go. That's what it says here. Fog plane. Fog plane. Fog plane.
Yeah.
God, this is so much
Oh,
rendering.
okay. Doing some full screen fog stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's like rendering a lot to huge parts of the screen.
We.
I see why these are half res textures now.
Yeah, that's fair. I also that would also explain some of the pixelatedness. Actually, I forgot about the half res.
Yeah.
Man, coming from mobile and mobile VR, like, man,
Yeah, this is not made for a tile GPU.
they're just loving this. They're just like, throw in the textures, composite it all. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, people have been not entirely happy with the rendered performance. Like it seems like it struggles on like the Steam Deck.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, yeah. And honestly, actually, this scene doesn't run at 60 on my computer. I get like 55 out of it or 53 on my 2060. But looks good though. And
Sure is
isn't
pretty.
that what matters in the end? All right. Here's now.
Hey, you got some water.
Boom. Gets composited into the. I think this is where the probably where the this like this color pass renders to that transparency texture, and then. Or are we?
Oh.
Wait. No,
So wait, is color pass number 6 where the water gets rendered?
6 is where we just in. Now we're on 7, and 7 is rendering to the scene render texture, which
Did the water get calculated earlier?
I think it might. Yeah, maybe that would actually make sense because this would be the transparency pass, which is always rendered after. So maybe. All right, we're near the end of the frame. That's why it kind of got lost. Got so sidetracked that we jumped all the way down to the bottom. Yeah, so that makes sense. So like all the 3D stuff's happening up here, and then this last thing here renders to a texture, and then like splats that onto the previous.
Oh yeah. No, I got totally lost in the frame too.
Yeah, this is the final texture, and it's being rendered with a shadow mask, which makes sense. Okay, actually, what else were we gonna look at? We were looking at the character, I guess.
Yeah, the character gets composited at some point, presumably.
You had a question about the title image, actually.
There's, well, yeah, I don't remember, like in the game view itself, like if the title does anything fancy.
Where is the title happening? It's in here somewhere. This must be all the UI.
This must be UI.
Oh, and there's where it's composited.
Oh, and the character.
Blurp.
Splat. Cool.
The only way to make this fun is just to add sound effects. All right.
It'd be a fun feature request for
Oh
render
wait,
doc.
they put in the little red dot is there first before just the logo.
Is that behind?
Maybe does it animate
Oh, that could be.
the red dot? Because there's like little smoke and particle
It's called
bits.
the intelligence. No, wait, is that what it's called?
Huh.
Intelligence icon?
Hmm.
No, that's probably the UI. Oh, the red dot's rendered up here somewhere.
Oh, it's yeah.
Where's the red dot?
Oh, there's
There you
some
go.
embers. Yeah, there's some smoke.
There's
Okay.
smoke. Oh yeah, and it's got a shader called smoke.
Okay,
Which
so that's probably doing.
I bet you it's like wiggling.
Hmm.
That would make sense. Boy, they have a lot of tech art going on. Like even like the tiniest of icons have like a smoke shader on them, to make them all goopy. All right. What do you want to look at next? I can't.
Maybe we can move on to another capture.
Yeah, that would actually. You don't want. You telling me you
wait,
don't want
I
to show
have-
the
I
main
have-
screen?
We could spend the whole
Wait,
time
can
looking at the
you,
main menu.
Can you
ahead.
go back to the game real quick? Show me the game.
I
'Cause I feel like there's more. Maybe it's just the screen difference, but the colors in this final render look kind of different to me.
Yeah. Also,
But it could just be a screen thing.
we can look at that. Yeah, let's look at the post processing.
Yeah.
The other thing to look at we didn't quite get to is the solid shapes in the background. We looked at the transparency, but actually it would be really interesting to see what it's being composited on top of. And this is
Yeah.
definitely getting light. Like you can see that for sure.
Yeah, and this big one on the left, the sort of middle ground
Heavy
rock.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost got like a tiny little black outline. I wonder
Yeah,
if
yeah,
that
yeah, you're
means
right.
it's
It
like
almost
a
seems like if
Hmm.
that's intentional or not.
mesh or
Oh, that looks like a
lining.
quad, actually. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it
It's
does look
weird.
like a quad, right? I
Huh.
can't.
This looks like a flat image, so yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't in the pass we just saw, so it must be earlier. Yeah, let's alright, where are we looking at? That's the compute color pass. What? Render system gradient texture. That sounds fun. Oh, this is
Yeah.
I think that might be the HDR system gradient. Maybe I would believe that's
Yeah,
like
the tone mapping.
yeah tone mapping. Yeah. All right.
There's some 3D.
Hey, that looks like the thing we were looking at.
Yeah.
So this pass here must be yeah. Look at all that stuff. What do you want to look at first? These foreground stuff, I guess.
What about that mid-ground one? I'm mostly curious about that one, just because I saw the
Wah, wah,
outline.
wah. Huh?
Yeah,
There we go. There it is.
that one.
So again, similar.
Oh, it's a mesh, but like also alpha cutout.
And look how
Okay.
conformed it is too. I bet they painted it. It's like the same one.
Yeah,
It's like the same
yeah.
approach.
Like
They,
it's a
Hmm.
but this one's not transparent. It's like full alpha cutout, so it's rendering in the opaque.
hmm.
So like this will render out depth, like depth to it. So like G buffer depth.
Yeah,
And then if
it's
we,
just going to be hard to visualize.
there's like a way to this button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
There
probably.
you go.
Render doc is so cool.
Yeah. It's shocking. It is rendering out flat depth, so they
Okay.
could have painted depth if they wanted to,
Yeah.
like in grayscale, and then composited that in.
I think there's a little bit of
You think?
variation, actually.
That might be an
It's
image
like hard to
behind
tell
it.
in the stream, but I think it's like a little bit. Yeah.
I think right. Oh well. Oh, you know.
See,
Oh
the
yeah,
little
yeah.
corner
There you go.
has.
But I think it's might because the card is slightly tilted. I don't think it's actually got like depth from the mesh or anything. I think it's just the tilting of the card because it's like a linear. Like
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. Definitely doesn't look like the sort of smooth variation in depth that you would get from the mesh. So, not sure
yeah.
what's going on there.
I would expect it to like look more rocky or something, but like and there's the thing behind it.
Oh, wait, it's from another
Oh,
mesh.
yeah.
Okay,
I was
okay,
just
okay.
looking at a different mesh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. I see, I see.
yeah. But it's
Yeah.
the same. It's the same workflow as the other ones. If you look at the mesh, and we
Yeah, look at those UVs.
There's a
yeah, same
there's
thing.
a helmet.
Wait, there's a face in there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you want to see him in the albedo maybe? The albedo's so dark. There we go. That's
Yeah,
much
there it
better.
is.
Oh, there he is.
Oh,
There he
wait.
is.
Hang on, can you go back to
Enhance.
the actual game? Like, is this visible at all?
Oh my gosh.
I
No.
think no. He's up in the
Oh.
corner, up here somewhere, which is
Incredible.
I wonder if they're just using stuff that they had from other scenes. Like if
that
they're
would not be shocking. Because why not? You know.
yeah, like
Yep.
from that intro scene where they I'm sure also had a bunch of assets that were painted to camera.
There's another little face down here actually. If you catch the
Yeah.
light. Um,
Mm.
Interesting. But yeah,
Cool.
it's the same. I guess it's the same workflow where they like somehow. Well, I guess they must have modeled this. I guess.
Yeah, they definitely modeled this.
How did they
and then-
model it and then they paint it afterwards? That doesn't make sense. What's the input texture? Alpha. But this looks
Yeah,
painted.
they like painted in the shading and stuff.
Okay, here's what I think they did. I think that they modeled this. I think that then they textured it, like they just sort of like painted it in substance, and then they projected it, and then painted over it a second time. So they had like all the rough light forms and shapes and sort of stuff coming out of substance, and then they took that and like painted over it. That's my theory. Because there's no other reason to have the actual like mesh. Because it's being rendered. I guess it's not being rendered as a flat card exactly, but it's not rendering depth really at all. So there's kind of like no reason to have this as a mesh. And this is so precisely painted that like,
Mhm.
and it's being projected onto too.
Yeah. I think you might be right about that. that workflow that's like a loop of like modeling and then painting over. But like to have a mesh in the scene, I feel like it must be using the geometry for rendering somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is rendering with the geometry too, but yeah, maybe I think maybe it's just not taking a huge advantage of it here. Like this asset happens to not like for instance, if
Hmm.
if this was under strong light, then you'd be able to get some like nice highlights on the skull face that would
Right. Yeah,
blend
maybe
in
we
with
can
the
find another
painting.
mesh where it is actually reacting to the lighting.
Like it's do you ever see how they did the texturing in 12 minutes? They had some interesting stuff there where they like could like project the camera view and then paint over it. I don't know if you saw that.
I have not, but that makes sense.
Yeah, there's just like a similar thing. So it seems to be a pretty common workflow for them. It's like this kind of like projecting and then painting over,
Yeah.
and then using the base form
It's
for the light.
yeah. It's also I think how the arcane pipeline works.
Right. Yeah, that actually makes
Hmm.
sense. That makes a ton of sense because like this game is clearly inspired by Arcane, like
The
very
visuals,
heavily.
yeah.
So
And I mean, well, it makes a ton of sense for uh something like a TV show where, you know,
right.
you have exact control of the camera for every shot. And this main scene is exactly like that. But
Right.
now I'm curious whether this technique, like whether they use this technique in like gameplay
Mhm.
scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we must, I guess. Um, 44,000 tries. What is this? What is that? Look
Oh,
at
I think
those.
yeah, those rocks are in the background there.
Mhm.
Oh, there. It's like this guy. Oh,
Oh, those tiny tries. Oh, it hurts.
yeah, right. This is this is quite the asset. What is going on with his normals too? Whoa.
Hmm. Interesting.
This
Yeah.
is a much weirder one because this is not camera projected. Actually, it's not using that workflow. If we go and set the text
Yeah, what do the
coordinates,
UVs look like?
this is
Oh, this
a
is UV mapped. Yeah.
yeah. This is just like a more normally UV'd thing, probably automatically. It looks like. Gosh, look at those! Look at those tiny slivers. What a weird asset.
Oh, yeah.
What is this thing for? This is a little
So this is yeah,
it's over
this is like a
here.
bunch of
Oh, yeah, there
spiky
are
rocks
those.
in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny is they look pretty painted on here, but
I know.
I
They
guess
still
they're
somehow look alpha cut out.
substance painted. Huh. And the input texture looks like that. So that's clearly been painted in substance or something, a texture painting
Yeah.
app. Um,
Yeah. Hmm.
Interesting. So they're flipping between them. I don't know why. Maybe this probably has is a big part of like reusing assets. Like they
Maybe so.
this probably was not made for the main menu, and they found a nice rock and they put it in the main menu. That would
That would make sense.
make a lot of sense. Nice. All right, let's look at another capture. Did we look at everything, or I feel like Anita, you wanted to check out something?
The
Oh, the background
post-processing.
stuff. Sorry,
Post-processing.
post processing. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So, I mean, actually, by the time you get down to UI, we're already post processed, I think. So,
Huh.
let's
Okay,
see.
maybe it's just the
Well, there's
colors. Like they look way more saturated green in RenderDoc than they look in the game, but that's totally could just be
let's see. So,
another artifact.
normally post processing would happen like right before UI, because you wouldn't want to post process your UI. So we'd expect to see. So that's where. Really should rename these passes, huh? Here's where it enters the transparency, and that looks pretty close. I don't think it. Huh. I mean, maybe it's not doing that much post processing. Let me see where the so this renders to the G buffer. That's the transparency, and this is the G buffer too up here. I think, right? Yeah. Where does the G buffer actually get like smashed into the final frame? Because let's see, albedo. Gosh, it looks really close to the final frame. Although it is a little dark, so maybe it does get boosted at some point. I would maybe need to do a little more deep digging. I think it happens in a compute, if I recall from looking at this earlier. I think the rendering actually uses a compute pass to do the final like lighting on the opaque stuff. So it's possible there is some post-processing happening in here. That would actually probably be logical. Yeah. I won't dig around. It would take a second to find. So I'm not entirely sure what it is. But I remember that was, that was done in compute. The post-processing would then also maybe be done in compute, but I don't know. It would happen after the transparent, though, usually. So, but by this point it looks already like final, so maybe the scene doesn't use post-processing? It wouldn't make sense to post-process just the opaque stuff and not the transparent things. That would be kind of weird, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it... I mean, something is happening also right here. You can see this adds a rim light to this little shape. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. What are the inputs to this pass?
It's almost like an outline shader. Let's see. So that pass is the color pass 7. It's I think it's.
So this is just like a full screen quad thing.
Yeah, it's draw indexed, and then is that what it is? Yeah.
Yeah. What do the inputs look like? Okay, you got depth, transparency,
hierarchy, which looks just like depth, I think.
Probably.
And then there's the transparent thing, and the if res. Is that supposed to be half res? Probably.
Yeah,
maybe that's misnamed. Oh no, it is called. No wait, yeah. Yeah, I think it's renderdoc just is not rendering it. So yeah, somewhere in that, in this, it's giving it, when it blends in the transparent stuff, it's getting this like rim to it, which, I mean, it's only using a shadow mask texture, so this might just be like a weird result of the blending. Like I wonder if this is intentional, exactly. Or wait, I see. This is the transparent. This is the transparency texture. So maybe that lighting is actually coming in from the earlier. I really do want to move on to a real game screenshot, but okay, let's see.
Yeah, we don't have to fully.
Here's the earlier part, which doesn't have that. Although maybe this light here is kind of sneaking through the blending, because notably, that final the texture input texture here. This is using a stencil, so like I wonder if like okay, the final here we go, half res transparency texture. This is the final transparency stuff. It's got a black cutout for that form there. like it's sort of avoided painting onto that spot, and then it's going to take this transparency thing and then it's going to splat it on top of something that it already cut out, and in a way that like if you try to cut two things out with scissors, you end up with like a little bit of slop that like it doesn't always line up. I wonder if that is responsible for that like slight line there, where like you get a little bit of the underlying stuff sneaking through, or like a doubling up of like I don't know where it doesn't quite overlap.
It might be it might be an artifact of scaling it up from the half res texture too.
Oh yeah, that would be that would actually make a lot of sense. Yeah, because if the mask is half res and then it uses that mask, then it's not going to line up.
Yeah, but
that makes sense.
Yeah, either that little like brighter edge gets hidden behind like the actual opaque stuff, or they just don't care about it.
Yeah.
Or it's intentional and they like it.
Honestly, it's kind of a happy accident. Like it looks like a rim light. Like I would not have complained. I would have been like, wow, it looks great. Like really nice subtle like edge highlight there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's jump into the game. Take another capture.
Yeah, man. The character proportions in this game are very strange.
Yeah. Somebody.
It seems like a stylistic choice, but
yeah, we were talking about this, and they actually look really sensible from this top-down angle.
Like I think that's it. Yeah,
like
they're designed for this. They just look kind of strange in that straight-on character creation.
Exactly. Yeah. It's animated to camera essentially, kind of like Ori, but then when you throw it into that side view, you're just like whoa. All right. Actually, I really want to check out this seaweed. I think that would be really fascinating.
Oh yeah, we can see how these ground textures work.
Is that where I want to go? Maybe I'll just stand right here. Yeah, that's a good one.
A lot of good stuff here. It's a delicious sampler.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we can look at this one and then we can wrap up, because it's been a second. Where'd my mouse go? Okay. Now we can go back and open this one. Neat. So I'm interested in this seaweed. Yeah. I want to see this, like, is this just like one massive painted ground asset? Like, did they paint the seaweed onto it? It looks like
it. Let's find the ground.
What's all this stuff? God.
Temp buffers for VFX, maybe?
See, this is the problem. You start looking for something, and then you're like, but wait. What the hell is that?
For the fire, maybe.
Fire,
Smoke
right.
simulation,
yeah. It's upside down again, too, so...
Oh.
This... Wait a second here. Ha-ha! Hey! Perfect. Whoa, what is that? That's cool. Look at that. That's a cool texture. I don't know what it's used for. Man, it's really
cool. I don't know what that's for.
Temp buffer.
Oh, I bet this is a
it's like a compute buffer?
Data texture. Yeah, for like because I know they do like
footsteps?
Simulation
Waves?
For like smoke maybe.
Yeah. Could also
like
be like
fog effects and stuff.
It almost looks like a coastline, it could be like a part of the water or but yeah, could also be fog. It
could be for the water, yeah.
Well, actually, now that you mentioned fog, like, yeah, maybe there's like a... I seem to recall there's like a subtle fog effect kind of on the whole screen. Then there's another one. Oh, there's like a bunch of them. Oh, it's actually the same. Oh yeah, hey, that looks like a simulation. Look at that.
Okay, yeah.
It's part of the fire simulation. Which, yeah, cool. Love a good fire sim. I was actually kind of wondering how they did that, because it looks really good in the game. So.
Yeah. Look at that fire mask texture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's flames.
Yeah. Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright.
Alright.
Let's find the color path.
Still looking for the dirt.
Alright, there's the albedo. We got ourselves a crab.
Time for crab.
Other things. This is the sewer sack.
Yeah.
Ugh. I wonder what this is. What is the sewer sack? What is it? Show me. Oh, I forgot. Wait. Was it on this one? Oh, I lost the sewer sack. I'm so sorry, guys. It was around here somewhere. But
I'm fine with that.
then it disappeared on me. Oh, here it is. Yeah, because this one. It's I think it might be actually the last one. It might be the one that because it's like grouped. So yeah, it's the last one. But even still, it doesn't seem to be.
They do look like some sacks.
They do.
Yeah.
I don't see them on the screen.
That's how many they are. Yeah.
They must. Maybe they got rendered off screen or something. Oh, actually, you can see VS out, and then it should show.
Did they get
somewhere.
cold or something?
Huh?
Yeah, I wonder if they got like
there they are.
or something.
Down there.
Oh.
At the bottom of so this is the screen, and then they got projected down here. I guess they're. I don't know. They don't need to. All right. So where's the ground? Let's see. So no ground yet. Some of these assets, boy, it's a lot of tries for that tiny little barrel. No LEDing. They're rendering all of these little bolts. Oh my god. The tiniest of bolts. Hey, it's visible. But, wow. Definitely. I don't know. I don't want to judge because, I don't know, desktop. Oh. Lost zoom.
Alright, when we left off, we were looking for that ground piece.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'd found the albedo pass on the ground, and I don't know if you had dropped off when we were saying this, but Anita and I were seeing that the albedo pass doesn't have any detail maps on the ground, like the little rivulets of water and the seaweed and stuff. So it looks like there are probably a couple passes.
Right.
Yeah, it is just like a tiling sort of ground texture at this point.
So that's how it starts.
Thanks.
But yeah, so it does seem like the ground. There it is. Lots of rocks. Rock. These rocks also may. Okay. There it is. Okay. Ah, look at that guy.
Yeah. There we go. Nice classic ground mesh.
Damn. And the input texture is sand beat. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it started off with a tiling texture, which is impressive because it doesn't look tiling at all.
No, that's crazy. The finish scene doesn't look like it.
Yeah, so it doesn't look tiling whatsoever. So they must be doing a lot of decals, you think? So
Probably. That's what I'm curious about. And it must be after this albedo pass. Across the
sand.
Look at the output.
Yeah, looks like all of that is just the basic stuff. It's rendering. I think it's a depth patch, maybe. Yeah, there's the depths. I think this might be 3 paths for the depth, is my guess.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
All right. And then here's this G-buffer normal offset again. I still don't know what this is. But looks like normals to me, but
maybe offset. Yeah, I wonder if they have a channel that's maybe offsets for layering things. I'm not sure.
Yeah. All right. No further to that, but it's running a lot of stuff to it. Actually, it's running everything to it, I think.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh no, here's the decals. Okay.
Yeah.
This one's that's up here. This down here is the decals. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Look at all these Oh my God, so many decals. Oh my lord,
Oh, it's all decals.
it's just decals all the way down.
Cool. Oh, it goes over like the entire ground
Yeah,
surface.
it's almost like they didn't need the base mesh.
Yeah.
Like they could have just put like a
Okay.
white
Okay.
cube there, and it would have been good. Um,
That's that's funny.
whoa. Try to think of like how best to like inspect this. Whoa.
I wanna see what a single decal looks like.
Is there one in particular that like grabs your
No,
attention?
not really. Just
I want to
like,
look at the seaweed. That's what I
yeah,
want.
let's find the
Let's
seaweed.
find the seaweed. There.
Hey.
Somewhere in
Well,
here.
I
Look at
feel
that
like,
one. It's weird. Look at this like decal here. It's like the color. It's like the color of the ground or something.
yeah,
Like it. The input texture is super weird to me.
it's just
Oh, is this more like
There it is.
painted to camera stuff?
looks
Like
like
projection?
Yeah.
Yeah, the decals are probably like projection
Totally
painted
painted.
again.
Yeah,
yeah.
and this is totally painted on in Photoshop. So yeah, it's the same workflow where
Are
they're
they
like,
do the decals have normals too, though? Do they not?
yes,
Okay.
or often they do, but
Hmm.
well, here's debug normal. It's not, but maybe these don't. I don't know.
I feel like when you were playing, I was sure that they did, but now I'm not sure.
Oh, there's this.
Because
I don't
when
see an
you
input for it.
So this is specular.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is here's
Huh.
the shining. This is roughness right there.
Oh, maybe it's the roughness that I'm picking up on because the light shines differently on parts of them. So
Yeah, what's interesting is that in
maybe
the
that's
painting
part of it.
process, uh, they didn't paint the roughness like separately or anything. They
Right,
took
right.
the
It looks like it's just a grayscale.
right, some kind of
But
filter pass.
they have this G offset input again. It's the red
Right.
texture.
So they're somehow this offset texture gets plugged into the decals, and maybe this is just my lack of knowledge about how decals work.
Well, yeah, I'm wondering, like the offset texture input. Like, I wonder if that's like a proxy for like what you would do with normals,
But like, shouldn't they have the normal?
like a bump map, you know?
But don't they? But this is the full screen though. It doesn't even have the decal texture because it's over here.
Yeah.
Where does it get rendered? Oh, I guess this is an input. But like you're saying that it's using the existing scene normals for some kind of.
Well, I'm saying like um, the offset texture for this decal, which is like the red input texture.
Oh, this. Oh,
That
this
one.
one. Oh, sorry.
So like there is like an authored input for this decal that goes into like whatever this offset channel is, presumably.
That
which
must
is-
plug with this because like this is called
Yeah.
offset,
Right?
right? So
Yeah, so it gets like combined with the G buffer somehow.
this is a single channel texture too. Yeah, it's just a red channel, and also seems to be maybe generated from the. But how actually is this one's a weirder one?
It
Makes me
looks
wonder what-
inverted, right?
It looks what?
Inverted, like value inverted.
Yeah, and also there's some other stuff going on here. Like, look at this. It looks almost generated.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Huh.
Maybe this is like they sent it through a like bump map. Yeah, like you're saying, basically like
Yeah.
Right.
because this does look a lot like a crazy bump. I don't know if you ever used that tool.
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
like some kind of like automated bump map generation or something, which
Mhm.
I would think would like play horribly with some of the. But I guess they could just remove the alpha channel and send this into it. That might explain why there's that little nodule up here at the top.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's cool.
So they
Yeah,
have
that's
some like
really cool.
additive bump mapping.
Yeah.
It's composited.
That does make some sense, and I guess we should see that in. Oh, okay. Well, then that would make sense because,
So in the output, maybe you can tell.
well, I would wonder if this allows them to. This input texture is what allows them to take the bump map and transform that into a normal, and something that they can actually write to the normal map because a bump map is like local to the to the tangent space or the normal sort of space. So you
Yeah.
would
So
need some sort of
need
input
the
to like transform it in a way that would like allow you to write it back to the normal texture. And actually, if we look at
I
this,
think you're right.
we should see it pop in. Let's see. So we find there you are. I guess we'll see if it actually does.
Does
No.
it do anything? Well, hang on. What is the
Oh,
When you enable the alpha channel in that, they might be storing it in alpha for
well,
that
it's doing something
buffer.
here actually. Oh, you think so?
There's
There's something there.
something there.
Yeah. Something's
Yeah.
there. I don't know. Let me get rid of this guy. Okay, so
Yeah.
so
there
the
it
G
is.
buffer normal.
So the RGB is the normal, and then
Then-
the offset is in the alpha for the G buffer.
Whatever offset means, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe offset is just like surface offset, like just like offset of the. Because like bump
the
mapping is a
geometry,
height
yeah.
map, right?
Right.
So you could think of that as an offset from like the surface. You know, that's like essentially the bump, how high it is. So maybe that's what they mean by offset. That would make sense because then then the bump map would be the offset. Okay, so it's writing into this offset channel.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this offset stuff gets eventually composited with the main texture, which still is smooth at this point, even with all the decals. But at some later point, they'll smash them together, and you'll get like a really nice.
Like merging the offset into the normals.
Yeah, or maybe it happens all in one pass during like.
It might. Yeah. I mean, it could be that their lighting pass just like combines normal and offset channels somehow. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that would make sense. Yeah. I wanted to find that seaweed.
Oh yeah.
Give me that seaweed. All right.
There we go.
There we are. Ooh. Ooh, fun.
No, it's so nice seaweed.
Yeah, again, definitely painted.
Yeah, this doesn't look like the one that's like following that line though. I feel like there must be another decal that's also part of this seaweed.
It doesn't look like it's right here? Right here?
I thought it went further. Like I think I mean if you go
Oh,
to
maybe there's
actual-
multiple decals there.
Yeah, I think there might be multiples.
Wait, it goes further? Wait.
Well, in the actual screenshot, not right now.
Oh, in the final.
Yeah, I'm saying there must be another seaweed,
Oh, I see.
right?
I see. What
Like
you're
it goes further down that little channel.
saying. Yeah, there's like one seaweed. Oh yeah, this is just like the first seaweed.
Yeah.
And then there's like several of these layered on, and then there's one like. I
Yeah.
see what you're saying. Yeah. Ah, there's more seaweed. Oh, and even the this is barnacles actually. This is no. I thought the barnacles might have popped in. Oh no, it's just around. They're using So like they're using the decals also to blend. So you can see right here. There's like kind of a bit of a harsh edge where they've snapped this barnacle onto the rock, and then they sort of covered up with a decal. Blend that
That
sucker
is
away.
wild. That's like
Nice. Decals are great. Let's use them.
It's very.
yeah, we
it's very
couldn't use
cool.
them. Yeah, it's funny too. It feels like they have such an interesting layering because they cover up some of that seaweed, the previous seaweed, with the ground decal to make that channel, and then they put
Oh,
more
yeah.
seaweed.
That's how they. Yeah, that's how they get it to like follow that channel.
Right, because
Yeah.
decals just render to the G buffers, so there's like the ordering is actually pretty critical. Right.
It's
Yeah.
cool. That's like it's like letting you Photoshop paint.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is. It's probably really nice for artists.
Yeah.
Man, their workflows must be wild. Because they must be able to, like, in Unity, look at the screen. Maybe they can just, like, hit a button and go to Photoshop and just, like, paint over it and then, like, export back or something.
Yeah.
That would be really... That'd be really slick.
Yeah, man. I'm imagining like what the Unity scene looks like now with like this many decals in this area.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine trying to run this on my editor. Much less on the laptop I just bought. Okay. Yep. That's a seaweed.
Okay. So it's just sort of shaped the same as that little rivulet.
This one does have a decal H_normal. So is this one actually writing to normal texture? Oh, some of these are writing to normals.
You're right,
Just a little bit.
Interesting.
Just a bit. I don't know why some of them do and some of them don't. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So some of them have
It's
both
interesting that it
bump
feels
and
like the
normal.
seaweed does, and all the ones that are just ground don't. Maybe it's because they need the seaweed, like the ground can just be like the offset of the flat ground plane, but then the seaweed needs a little bit more.
More of a.
Like it's not just going up
Yeah.
and down in relationship to that plane.
You want something a little more high,
Yeah.
nicer looking. That makes sense. Also of note is that this is not a normal. This is not a normal like layout for normals. Like this is not an object.
Yeah.
It's all red, which implies what? That it's like all sort of like tilted, basically. I guess that's sort of like on the x-axis too.
Oh, is it only the red channel?
I think so. Well, no, there's green and
Okay.
blue. Oh, there's no red. What?
Huh.
Oh no, red is white.
Red is full.
Red
Okay.
is 1. So maybe it's just GB. That would actually kind of make sense. So it's just these two. Maybe. Is there anything in alpha? Oh, alpha.
Wait,
oh,
there is
that-
something in alpha.
It might be GBA. Let me.
It is a weird layout, yeah.
I don't know how to get it to not render this as. Oh well, that's fine. Right. Okay, maybe it's just that it's stored in GBA for some reason, or render doc is getting confused. It's also called decal H.
EC3 Unorm, I'm not totally familiar with.
Yeah, I'm not sure what this H stands for anything. I don't know.
I would guess they just did seaweed decal A through the.
Yeah, that actually
Oh,
That-
yeah, I think you're right, actually.
Yep, that actually makes a ton of sense. Yeah, look, Coast Rock decal B.
Decal B, okay.
Well, there you go. You solved it. All right. Ooh, what are those? Look at that. Oh, that's weird. Oh, these are the footprints. Oh yeah. Look at that.
Oh, right. So, yeah, decals for footprints.
And the footprints are more rough, so it gets rid of the shininess. I'm sure this is. Yeah. I love their like utility buffer here. Oh look, crabs are blue. What is B? So, specular roughness, specular tint. They're definitely different things.
Huh.
There's definitely several textures in here, but
Okay, so alpha's not really.
Huh.
Mm.
That's interesting. It seems like some sort of utility, but I don't know. Or maybe this is actually tint somehow. Is there? Like
Specular tint. I wonder if that's like.
something's highlighting these guys. Or do you think this is could feed into some of the edge lighting maybe? Yeah, so like the R channel is like really highlighting the barnacles for some reason.
Yeah. So the. Is R specular? Does that make sense? I'm not sure I expect those barnacle edges to be.
Right? More so than anything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh, well, we could another puzzle. Neat.
Oh, we lost Kelly.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, Kelly had to go.
It's a good time to wrap up anyway.
Yeah. I wanted to look at the
You want one more?
world curving.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be good. I think so. I have this hunch that this is not easily
This
seeable
might-
in RenderDoc.
Yeah, it might happen before the meshes.
I think
get
it happens in the
simulated.
vertex shader, is my guess. What are these? Oh, it's the hair. I thought that was seaweed.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I'm like pretty sure it's gonna happen in the.
Well, we would be able to see the. Would we be able to see the results of the vertex shader, like the
Right. I guess that's fair, actually. Yeah. Where
We could find something that's like clearly
this is the main pass, right?
manipulated.
So something like big, I guess, like the ground.
Something big and far away.
Big and far away. Yeah. You need something with like a sufficient warp to it, like that. Oh, it's upside down, of course. Can I? Okay. Could change the mapping. Might be a little hard. So we can sort of see how it gets projected onto the flat plane of the screen, but I don't know if we can actually see. This is the input, and then the output just gets. The vertex shader eventually just maps to like the flat plane, so you wouldn't actually see a curve.
I mean, yeah, it's not really visible with a mesh like this. You'd probably take like a, I don't know, if you had like a big square object or something.
Right. Yeah, something that you could really tell that it's.
Yeah, it may not be the easiest.
Kind of wondering if you could spot any input or something to the vertex shader. Bunch of constants, so
Yeah,
not obvious.
could be in some constants. That's true.
Yeah, look, it's all right in there.
Hey, look.
Yeah.
Well, that sure is shader code.
Didn't work. Yeah, I think that might be hard to pick out, actually.
Excuse me.
Yeah. But it probably happened in the vertex shader. This is also not probably the best scene to see it.
Yeah, the curvature isn't really very visible here anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
Well, we'll leave that mystery unsolved.
Yes. All right. Keep your secrets.
Wow. I mean, coming away from this, I'm very impressed that they I don't know, put all this managed to fit all this stuff into their scenes and have the workflows to manage it all.
Right.
Yeah,
There's just a
managing
lot
all
going
those
on.
details must be nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, and especially because once on the upside the decals are fairly movable, I guess, but some of them are definitely to the specific arrangement of the objects and
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
move those rocks now you've got to repaint them. For
right.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like you'd have to have airtight placement of everything before you went in and added decals for months and months.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, be curious about that. How much it messes things up to just shift it something for gameplay a little bit.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
That was good.
I think we learned some stuff.
It's a good time.
I still can't tell whether it's using HDRB or not.
Yeah, I don't know.
It feels like it's a highly customized
I have this feeling that it's
render
not.
pipeline somehow.
Yeah, I feel like it's got to be built in or based on built in or totally custom, but just because it's so old, their branch of the engine and when they started using Unity was way back when, so it's hard to imagine they moved over to the modern stuff, but maybe they did. I don't know. I think HDRP we would have seen some other weirder stuff going on too, because HDRP's got strange. A lot more compute shaders with light, I don't know, bucketing and stuff like that. I feel like it might. I don't know. Maybe not, but
Fair.
it's interesting.
Yeah, because I think built-in is a deferred pipeline.
Yeah, they're both deferred, so
Yeah.
it's a little hard to tell. Very cool. Yeah, thanks for joining me. It was good. It was a good time.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a good idea. Thanks for having us.
All right. I'm gonna wrap up.